Hello everyone, this is CRH Films, and this is the 7th episode of The Last of Us series. The girl Ellie is trying to save Joel's life, recalling her relatively carefree past. The episode begins in a snow-covered suburb, where a bloody trail leads to one of the buildings. After parking the horse, Ellie lays the wounded Joel on the floor with a knife wound. However, Joel insists that Ellie leave him here and return to his brother Tommy. Ellie covers Joel with a jacket and goes up the stairs. She pauses right in front of the door. We are transported back in time. Ellie, along with other teenagers, runs in the gym of the Fedra Academy. Without much effort, she runs in circles, listening to classical music. Suddenly, one of the girls takes Ellie's headphones off. She doesn't want to run again because of Ellie's laziness, leading to an argument. When she mentions Ellie's friend who escaped a few days ago, the conversation smoothly turns into a dispute. Ellie immediately explains to the provocateur that it was not the right thing to do. After the fight, Ellie is taken to Captain Kwan. The military explains that Fedra is trying to maintain order in society, requiring high-class and disciplined soldiers. If Ellie continues in the same spirit, she is destined to be a patrol and die in a clash with clickers or infected. Officers like Bethany will be the ones to enforce the rules. If Ellie wants to build a good military career, she needs to change. Despite her young age, Ellie understands the future perspective, deciding to become an officer after all. She asks for her player back, which becomes the subject of a dispute. The military silently puts it on the table. Returning to her room, Ellie reads comics and occasionally looks at her friend's bed, who escaped a few days ago. When the sleep command is given, Ellie puts the magazine away, turns off the light, and goes to sleep. In the middle of the night, someone crawls through the window into the room. Someone's hand covers Ellie's mouth. The girl wakes up and pushes away the unwanted guest. It turns out to be Riley, the same friend who escaped. The girls exchange the latest news, including Ellie's fight. The teenager assures that she did not let herself be offended. Riley tells that she joined the Fireflies and shows the issued gun as proof. Riley asks Ellie to take a walk with her. She wants to show her something incredible. After a few minutes of persuasion, Ellie finally agrees to go for a night walk. The duo leaves the room through the window. Later, they almost get caught by a patrol in one of the alleys. Then they climb into one of the buildings, where on the second floor they find a man of room temperature. Next to him is a bottle of warming drink, which the friends immediately take. The man's body, unwilling to be in the same room with teenagers, collapses to the lower floors. The duo goes up to the roof, where they decide to drink the unknown concoction. Apparently, the Fedra Academy teaches only to be good soldiers, not to think with your head, somehow managing to turn off the instinct of self-preservation. Ellie asks her friend to inspect the gun and wonders how Riley got into the Fireflies. The girl tells that during a similar night walk, she met Marlene, who convinced her to join the Fireflies. The path ahead leads across several rooftops. Mimicking Spider-Man, the friends jump from one roof to another. After a few minutes, the duo reaches a shopping center. Just a few days ago, the Fedra restored power to the houses in this area, also connecting the entertainment complex to the system. Through a hole in the ceiling, the duo sneaks inside the building. Riley asks Ellie to walk further down the corridor and signal. She has prepared a surprise. When Ellie reaches the rendezvous point, the lights come on. Light gradually fills every corner of the shopping center. The main characters freeze before such a marvelous sight. Riley promises to show Ellie 4 wonders. The duo heads to the escalator. 20 years of inactivity and lack of maintenance mean nothing, the escalator still works. Ellie takes it as the first wonder. The duo continues past the ransacked shops. When the pandemic started, people began looting, taking everything they needed and more. Ellie stops in front of a lingerie store. The girls discuss revealing clothing. Riley says she imagines Ellie in such attire. As her friend moves on, Ellie stands in front of the shop window for a few more minutes, trying to imagine herself in such clothing. Before the next wonder, Riley asks Ellie to close her eyes not to spoil the surprise. Riley leads her friend by the hand. When Ellie opens her eyes, she sees a carousel. Another mechanism that, despite 20 years of human absence, not only didn't break but also started on the first try. The duo gets on the merry-go-round and happily spins around, sipping whiskey. However, time takes its toll, and the carousel stops. When Ellie asks Riley why she actually left the Fedra, she replies that she was assigned to guard the sewers. Such a job is too trivial for someone like Riley. The next wonder is a photo booth, for which Riley saved $5. In the current world, such currency is worthless. They make various grimaces, but the photo turns out not of the best quality. Despite this, Ellie decides to keep the photos as a memory. Riley leads her friend to the next wonder. This time it's a room with arcade machines. The girls walk around the establishment until they stumble upon an arcade machine with the legendary Mortal Kombat. The friends get so into the game that they scream with excitement throughout the entertainment center. From the noise, an infected somewhere in the distance wakes up. In a fierce showdown, Riley defeats Ellie and performs a fatality at the end. After the fun, Riley leads her friend to the next wonder. But Ellie wants to go back, as another breach of order could be very bad for her. Riley manages to convince Ellie to stay. She has prepared a gift. The duo heads to the fast food restaurant, which also serves as a checkpoint for Riley. The girl gives Ellie the second part of a joke collection. They read a few jokes, bringing smiles to their faces. Later, Ellie finds homemade bombs. Due to different views on the righteousness of Firefly's actions, Ellie turns around with a dissatisfied face and walks away. Riley catches up with her friend. She says that the Fireflies have reassigned her to another city, and she'll leave from here forever tomorrow. She prepared all of this to spend an unforgettable night with her best friend. Ellie says goodbye and walks away, kicking over a trash bin along the way due to excess emotions. The main character goes to the exit but stops right in front of the doors. Ellie sheds a tear and decides to return to Riley. Most of the lights are already off. Suddenly, Ellie hears a scream coming from the shops. She immediately runs towards the source of the sound. The scream came from a Halloween toy store. It was Riley who turned it on. This place is the last wonder she prepared. Ellie asks for the joke collection back. Putting the book in her backpack, Ellie sits down next to her friend. When Riley escaped, Ellie was sure that her friend had died. And now, when she has returned and arranged such an unforgettable night walk, she will disappear again, but this time forever. Riley says that she found in the Fireflies what she was missing so much, a family. Finally, the girls decide to enjoy themselves to the fullest. Riley connects Ellie's stolen player to the speakers. They put on creepy masks and start dancing. After the dance show, Ellie asks Riley not to leave. The friend agrees to stay. Due to an excess of feelings and a lack of male attention, the girls kiss. However, the romantic atmosphere is interrupted by the appearance of an infected. Riley deals a dose of lead to the uninvited guest, but it doesn't stop the infected. The girls try to escape. Riley falls and loses consciousness, leaving Ellie alone with the infected. At the last moment, when the zombie is about to attack Ellie, Riley comes to the rescue. The girl stuns the infected with a blow to the head, and Ellie puts an end to this confrontation with a knife to the head. Ellie rejoices that she managed to come out alive from this fight. But with tears in her eyes, Riley looks at her friend's hand, where a fresh bite is visible. Ellie screams in despair at the impossibility of changing anything. With desperation in her eyes, Riley raises her hand, where there is the same bite. Ellie vents all her anger on the shop windows. After a few minutes, Ellie joins Riley, who sits calmly and cries in hopelessness. The friends discuss what they will do next. Riley suggests two options. The first is to perform a makeshift head ventilation, and the second is to leave everything as it is until the cordyceps takes over their minds and bodies. In the end, the friends hug. The scene changes. Ellie breaks open crates in search of something useful. Finding a thread and needle, the girl runs to the basement to the wounded Joel. Deviating from sterile norms, Ellie begins to stitch Joel's wound. The man silently endures the excruciating pain, holding Ellie's hand. The episode ends on this note.